Hello and welcome to episode 23 of the Gravity Cancel podcast. With me, as always, unfortunately, Sergeant Spancakes. How you doing today, buddy?
If you want a new co-host, you can get a new co-host. I'm doing great. Not been playing much Brawl lately. Been playing other games. Elden Ring's kind of sucked me in by its addictive grasp, and been playing that.
Yeah, so, I've been, Destiny 2, Same addiction.
I don't know about same. One of those games is quality. The other one's just basically a gotcha game.
True. All right. Well, we got a new legend, Arcadia. We actually just recorded a short little interesting first impressions gameplay video.
We tried to play Arcadia for first impressions, and then some salty scrubs wanted a salty run back, and they got it, and they caught these hands. We gave them what they deserved.
If you're listening to this on YouTube, this will come out after the episode we're talking about, or the little gameplay we're talking about. So go check that out.
So, Rox, what do you think of Arcadia? She's got one of your weapons and one weapon that you can't play to save your life.
Good question. Overall, I don't know. I have to play through a little bit more. I've just got her level 3, which she's a higher level than my Vector and my Magyar. So she's already climbing the ranks, baby.
So weapons aside, since Greatsword's not your forte, what do you think of her signature kit?
Depends on the weapon. So I just found out whenever we finished playing that the what is it? The neutral spear signature hits grounded.
Yeah, it's insane.
Beautiful,
actually.
Beautiful. Why even use the side sig?
Well, and what's nice about that is since spear really doesn't have anything that hits stacked, at least you have an option if they're standing on top of you.
Yeah. I really like all the spear signatures. You've got the trap signature. My issue with that one is I feel like 9 times out of 10, if I play Yumiko, which is very rarely, and I throw out a trap signature and I hit them with the trap, I feel like I've got time to then figure out how I want to follow up. But I feel like every time I throw out the spear trap, it sets there for a little while, and it's like the opponent isn't used to how long it's active for, and they run into it like last second that it's active and it catches them. But I usually don't have a follow-up ready, because I just assume that they've not been hit by the trap, and then whenever they are hit by it, I don't really know how to follow up. I guess neutral air is what you said is probably
neutral. Yeah, neutral air is like probably the best follow up. You can follow up with a side air, but it kind of depends on the spacing. Like if you hit it and you're too close to them, then you won't land your side air, and it's probably health related too. If they're too much damage, they won't get hit by it. What I do like about that signature, as opposed to the neutral sig signature, is that it puts you in the air.
Yeah.
Or not neutral signature, the Greatsword neutral sig signature.
Yeah. See, the thing about the side sig is I love it because it's a big old beetle, and she shake her little booty. It's adorable. Big beetle with a big ass bow on her head. It's amazing. However, the worst thing, in my opinion, is, well, how slow it is, but also whenever I try to do it off stage, what happens is I'll hit the stage and I'll do that thing that like running side signatures like that tend to do, like Zol's, for example. You're up against the side of the stage and you're just running in place, right?
Right.
But the thing about this side sig, I don't know if you've experienced it, is if you hit the ledge like that and you're running into the wall, usually you're pretty safe. But as soon as you finish that signature, you hop up on the ledge and you're not fully recovered yet. So
Wait,
it's like,
really?
Yeah, so it's like you hit the ledge, you hit the stage, and then you're going, and then you leap over onto the stage, and it's like, hey, come hit me.
Yeah, because she like hops off the beetle.
Yeah. So that's one thing I don't like about it.
That one's probably my least favorite, and it's the most spammable, even though it's slow as dog piss.
Oh, we learned that. We learned it's very spammable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you hit me probably 9 out of 10 times. I don't think you hit a single opponent with it.
I hit a couple. The ones that whenever I did hit an opponent, I also hit you. I'm pretty sure 100% of the time, if I hit somebody, you were one of the somebodies, if not the only somebody.
That doesn't make it better.
Team damage is damage, baby.
And we still need to know if that counts towards damage or not. Because if it does, you should always have more damage than me.
They need to add that to rank doubles, as one of the stats it shows after the match. Team damage done.
It would be nice. It would be nice. It would be a very telling story as to why I die so often. Greatsword signatures are really cool too. Obviously, the down sig's pretty similar to the spear down sig. But the neutral sig, it's cool because you can shift it left and right at full charge. And it also has 2 phases, kind of like the side sig does. If you just press the button and don't hold it, you just stick your sword up kind of like Jalla's. But with the full charge, you jump up in the air with it.
Yeah, and I really like that.
Yeah, you can really fine tune it.
Big version of Jalla's signature.
With a little bit of hop to it.
Oh yeah.
And then the side signature, same way. I love that it's
We need more of those.
Yes. It has a massive swing with heavy force, or it's a projectile, and you can use it for zoning. It's phenomenal.
So cool. So that was the first thing I noticed whenever, that caught my eye whenever I was playing with her, whenever she launched. I just hopped in a training mode, was the fact that it was technically 2 signatures, and I was like, this is interesting. I hope we get more of these.
Yeah, I definitely think she's one of maybe the most original legend we actually have. I think she's more original than Yumiko.
Yeah, I feel like Yumiko was a test for because she was the only trap legend, right? And
well, I would kind of consider Zol a trap legend.
I guess you're right. Yeah, Zol
was
a trap legend.
He doesn't have the same utility with it that Yumiko and Arcadia have.
Yeah, because his traps are the signatures themselves. So if you get caught in the trap, the signature just continues. Versus Yumiko, you get him in the trap and then you can follow up.
Right,
multiple different ways.
I would say he's a trap character in the way that he just kind of
throws
blocks
out a bear
off
trap.
Areas. No, yes, in the literal sense, yes, but he blocks off areas of the map.
Yeah.
And instead of actually just hitting you. But man, Arcadia, I would say she's probably got the most original signatures since maybe Fate, because Fates are pretty unique too. Man, after Munin, my expectations were pretty low, and BMG just shattered them.
Oh yeah. Don't get me started on the skins. So the base Arcadia looks phenomenal. The let's see, what's it called? The Rogue Queen Arcadia, which is the one that you got. Yep. Amazing. I was stuck between that and the Briar Rose Arcadia, and I'm glad you got that one because I just knew if I got that one, I would regret it and end up also buying the Briar Rose one because I like that one a little bit more. So thank you for making that decision for me.
No problem. I can't wait to run Briar Rose Arcadia with the Thorn Dusk.
Oh, funny you mentioned
the perfect
Dusk. Funny you mentioned Dusk. So I know you've not read the lore. The lore is so large.
Lore?
I'm telling Baron. The lore is so large that if you look at it, it overlaps the text box that it's supposed to stay inside of.
Oh,
that's how
wow.
big it is. But it's funny you mentioned Dusk because she had her lore is that well, this isn't all the lore, but at the end of it, her big thing that she did was she had a 3-day war against Dusk, and she's the one that killed him and sent his ass to Brawlhalla or to Valhalla.
What?
Yeah, it's awesome. And then it looks like, I can't tell off the lore, I'd have to get Baron involved, but it seems like she's also one of those rare legends that went to Valhalla without dying.
Really?
Yeah, it was just like, I'm gonna come check this place out.
Because Valhalla is just a place people go after they die, right? Legendary warriors go to Valhalla after they die. Or Bryn comes and snatches your ass and takes you there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see what BMG does moving forward with Legends. people are really up in arms about it taking so long to release Legends, but if we get quality like this, I am 2 Legends a year, and I'm a happy man if they're of this quality.
Absolutely.
Now
what do you think of the stats?
The stats, I mean, they're okay. I like high strength. The decks, I haven't played around enough, but all the other Greatsword Legends, I think, have like 5 decks, right? 4 or 5. So
yeah,
you have the potential to take her to 8 decks, which takes her down to 3 speed. But I'm wondering if it can't make some of the strings better.
I do not know enough about Greatsword to answer that question.
We need both Cobalt and Baron on this episode to school us on
the lore guy and the mechanics guy.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to try running deck stance a little bit just to see if it changes the recovery frames on the Greatsword stuff. But I know everyone hates on decks, and rightfully so. But yeah, she's got okay stats. I'm not mad about it.
My like the glaring issue with her though is the fact that she's a Greatsword Legend, and I say that take it with a grain of salt because I suck with Greatsword. But Greatsword was great whenever it first came out. It was so busted. Jae-yoon was abused to death. But then, and you also can't point blame like, oh, how could BMG release another Greatsword Legend when it's in the state that it's in? Well, that's just how new weapons work, right? They release them as, the first year or two after a new weapon comes out. Most of the legends are going to have Greatsword, or every other legend, or the new weapon. But then Mako comes out, nobody cares. I never run into Makos anymore.
No.
I never run into Magyars, and if I do, they are like, they just downloaded the game. Yeah. And now we've got Arcadia. But Hammer takes some skill to play. Katar's also kind of that same level. Anybody can pick up Sword and learn it quick. Gauntlet, Axe, Spear. People can learn pretty quick. But stuff like, I think that's what really hurts Mako and Magyar, is if you already don't know Katar and Hammer, then, you're out the gate trying to learn these legends at a disadvantage. Because I assume if you don't know Katar Hammer, you probably don't know Greatsword, right?
Yeah, Greatsword's one of those weapons that you actually have to devote time to learning. Like, you can't just hop into a match and, like, get lucky with it. You can get lucky with most of the other weapons. You can't get lucky with Greatsword. And I think I don't think it's as bad as people think it is. I just think it's still undiscovered. Like, people just don't know how to use it yet.
And then on top of that, the effort required,
Right.
It's better payoff to spend that effort towards learning Scythe, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they take the same amount of effort, and Scythe is just better.
Yep, absolutely. And because with Greatsword, you're pretty much tied to the stage. Once you go off stage, like, neutral air and down air are okay. The recovery was great until they nerfed it. Actually, it was probably too strong, but it leaves something to be desired off stage.
Yeah, if we see another Greatsword buff, which I'm sure we will, but if it gets anywhere close to what it was when it first released, you are gonna see so much Arcadia in 2v2s and like tournament 2v2s.
She'll be disgusting.
She'll be nasty, especially with the traps. So many team combos you can figure out with it. And
yeah. Good.
No, you go ahead.
You and I like hit a couple of combos off of the traps, just inadvertently.
Yeah, accidentally, complete accident. Did not mean to.
Anytime we do a team combo, it's on accident.
It's true.
We're not those scrubs that spend time grinding out team combos.
Yeah, nerds.
Anywho, we got some other stuff to cover since, we haven't recorded a podcast in like a month. We got the G.I. Joe crossover. Last time we recorded, we had speculated
talked about it.
No, we speculated that it would be in the game, but no, we haven't actually talked about it.
So I don't really know much about anything to do with G.I. Joe, but the skins look cool. I've not really played with them to see like what the signature reskins are, but I mean they look cool.
The Snake Eyes one is really cool. The Storm Shadow Koji one, it's okay. I don't think they sold very well because I have not seen very many people using them.
I've actually seen a couple of the Snake Eyes ones.
Yeah, but comparative to like other crossovers, like other crossovers, when they come out, people buy them. This one, I don't think it sold very well. This feels like one of those crossovers that G.I. Joe is like, hey, we like your game. Let's get G.I. Joe in there. And BMG's like, well, how much you paying us?
Exactly.
And then, and then they cut a check. Voila, G.I. Joe's in the game.
I'm never going to get mad at a crossover I don't care about. Because,
absolutely not.
I don't care about G.I. Joe. I really don't care about Adventure Time. I don't care about WWE. I know you do. I don't give a flying fuck about Steven Universe or Tomb Raider. Ben 10, if you would have hit me with that shit 10 years ago, I would have bought every fucking one of those. Actually, not 10 years ago, like 15 years ago. But Ninja Turtles, hell yeah. If I was good with any of the Walking Dead legends, I would have bought them. Street Fighter, instant buy. Oh, actually, I bought the Maggie skin for Java.
Yeah, you did.
So I even bought that. But I'm never going to get mad about a crossover that I don't like, because all that says to me is people who do like it get a cool crossover, and also BMG just got a fat check.
Yeah, and it brings people into the game.
Yeah.
Like, people come to the game because they see, oh, this character's now in Brawlhalla? What?
Yep.
Sometimes they get kind of turned off because it's just a skin, but whatever, man. Like, play your character. You never have to even play the crossover version if you buy the crossover. So
I think my dogs can smell when I turn OBS on, or Audacity.
Start barking.
I'm gonna throw my 2-pound Chihuahua out the door. I will be right back.
All right, I will entertain the listeners with some more nonsense about G.I. Joe. So the great thing about G.I. Joe is they had PSAs back in the day, and it was all sorts of things, like how to prevent forest fires. That wasn't just Smokey the Bear. That was also G.I. Joe. It's what to do in case your house... Sorry, I was just entertaining people.
Oh, I thought you were dead ass just talking to yourself over here, and I was like, does he?
I was
not
actually.
Realize I took my headset off?
No, I was talking about G.I. Joe PSAs.
Oh, I gotcha. Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about those.
And then there's YouTube parodies of them that are great.
G.I. Joe is one of those things where, like, you're not much older than me, but it's just that small gap. Like, I missed G.I. Joe by like a year or two.
Yeah. No, I completely understand. It was popular for like 40 years.
Yeah, my grandpa would have been stoked.
So yeah, G.I. Joe crossover. If you're interested in it, buy it. If you're not, oh well, we got another cool crossover. Other slight news, speaking of G.I. Joe-esque stuff, Isaiah is the Prime bundle with Shadow Ops bundle. Which is probably...
Did you break your streak? Did you already have that skin?
I did already have. Actually, I haven't even redeemed mine yet, and so I probably have a code to give away at some point.
Ooh, very nice. Maybe when we start streaming.
Shadow Ops skin is so good.
Oh, yeah.
It was what I used for the longest time until the Luck of the Brawl Dragon Hunter Isaiah came out.
Oh my god. Listen, so it is the less popular a holiday is, the better the skins are, dude. The Valentine's Day skins, killer. Don't get me wrong, I like the Halloween skins, I like the Christmas skins, but player, listen. The Luck of the Brawl and the Valentine's one, they go so unbelievably hard. This new Isaiah skin,
No, every Luck of the Brawl skin is insane. The Sentinel one they dropped last year was killer.
That's the only one that I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, compared to the rest, it's still awesome.
Well, here's the thing. Look at Sentinel's skins.
Yeah, that's true.
Compared to his skins, it's top notch. The Jiro, the Doulahan Jiro, oh my goodness.
Fantastic.
I love a good ghost.
Do you have that skin?
I don't.
You should get it so we can play headless Jiro, and then whenever I unlock the Ada, I can play Ada.
That would be kind of cool, actually.
The Ulgrim skin.
Oh, the Ulgrim one is disgusting.
And it takes color so well. If I didn't already have almost every Jala skin in existence, I would buy this Jala skin too.
Wait, which one's the Jala one?
The Gallo Glass Jala.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Sidra one's nasty because it completely changes her character model. Like, she looks like a completely different person. The Sidra one?
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Could have swore you opened the game before we started this.
No, I said I don't need to open the game, and then now I'm like, I should have opened the game. Why didn't I open the game? And the KO effect, man. The gold.
So cheesy. I love it.
I think one of those scrubs that wanted a rematch earlier, I think one of them was using it.
I don't know. I don't really pay too much attention to KO effects.
No, I don't either. They're cool, though. They're cool.
And then, of course, go ahead and snag your limited time only colors. The thing about these colors is, much like some of the other holiday colors, they look bad on a lot of skins. But when they look good, they look real good. You know what I'm saying?
I think the problem with them is the hair color.
You don't like gingers, bro? Bro, we don't even have hair. We can't judge people by their hair color. We're both bald.
No. I'm not saying the ginger hair color. I'm just saying, like, some characters should not be ginger. Isaiah, Dragon Hunter, should not be ginger.
I think no. Look at base Isaiah with the orange fade.
No, the orange fade is cool. Certain skins, though.
That's the coolest part about Isaiah's base skin, is that his fade changes colors.
Yeah, it's so good. I'll tell you what, Isaiah with any sort of white hair is top notch.
Oh yeah, hands down.
So what else do we got? Crew Battle Invitational just happened this weekend. Did you get a chance to tune into that?
No, and I'm actually mauling at myself because I noticed that a sword skin was up for grabs for watching it, and it's one of the coolest sword skins I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a disgusting sword skin. I don't think I got it. I was working overnight, so I didn't get a chance to get the stream on. But I'm probably gonna go find a code for that.
Yeah, it's absolutely worth it. It's such a cool skin.
And the emote, the last reward on that track, the sweat emote. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I love that.
Dude,
emote.
That is the hard counter to Salt.
If you watched our content, you'll notice that in the last episode of Showdowns that just came out, it is in the edit.
Wait, you got that?
No, I didn't get it, but I used the render tool for a neat little
Gotcha.
For those 10 of you that have watched it, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't emote too often, but when I do, a salt or a sweat emote would be good to have.
Wait,
but yeah, so
hold up. I don't mean to interrupt you. I was talking about the shrouded blade, like the green one that looks like a vampire lightsaber. That's the sword I was talking about. What is this Apex keyboard skin?
Oh, it's so stupid.
It's so cool.
No, it's not. It is so stupid, man. It looks so ugly. I think you can if you just go to Apex website, I think there's you just download some Apex thing and they give you a code.
Oh my god, I'm doing that right now.
Please never use that when you're playing with me because it is so ugly.
Apex Brawlhalla.
So yeah, this Crew Battle Invitational, it was a randomized team format, and each team had a different color, and it was just crew battles. Boomy, Casper, and Pierre got first place for the NA Top 8.
You'll love to see it.
For the NA Invitational. I don't really want to go over all the results. Nice vape, bro.
Why'd you have to say that? I'm talking to you through my headset mic, and I'm recording with my other mic, so I mute the other mic, and then you can hear me vape. Now the children know I have a crippling nicotine addiction.
But I like this format for a tournament because even though it's still a stock game mode, it's something different.
It's
not
fun.
just 1v1. It's not 2v2. It adds something.
You're not gonna see all these 19-year-olds talking mad shit over Twitter because they got beat. They're not gonna be like, "Oh my god, this game's so broke. I'm gonna retire." That was not a shot at Sandstorm. That was a shot. That is a shot at all the Sandstorm copycats.
Gotcha.
Then they post a big twit longer about how the state of the game is in disarray.
All because we won't go that route. I really wish they would use more of their game modes for like invitational tournaments or just side tournaments.
Yeah.
You could do Brawl Ball. You could do whatever the ranked. That's what they should do. Whatever the ranked game mode is for the season, do an invitational for it.
We still haven't been able to play crew battle, dude.
No,
I'm so mad about that.
I actually had a dream that they made it so you could randomly queue with people, just so we could play. That's how bad I want to be able to randomly queue with people on that.
And that would be such a good YouTube series. Always having a random with us.
Oh, it would be great.
And like cheering on a random that can't hear us. Oh, it would be hilarious.
I really wish they would just because no one plays the ranked game modes, and that would bring a little bit of viewership to see oh, I forgot this was the ranked game mode for the season. Let me go check it out. So patch 6.05 dropped, and with it we got Arcadia. With it we got the Luck of the Brawl seasonal event, but we also got some patch notes. We got a balance patch with it.
Give me the patch notes, the patch cliff notes.
We're not going to go in depth here because it just never does us any good because we don't understand half the stuff.
We're like, this new skin is pretty.
Yeah. We're not real players. Axe got another nerf. Have you noticed it?
Nope.
Haven't noticed it. So therefore, Axe did not get nerfed enough.
Listen, y'all just got to realize, when I first started playing this game, Axe was this dominant. You know what I did? I pulled myself up by the bootstraps and I walked straight into the employer and shook the hand of the owner and said, I want a job, and I picked up that axe and I learned how to use it. Listen, axe mirror matches to this day are the funnest matches to me. Just learn how to play axe, guys. Get good. Just get good. Yes, it is. It's a race to see who can hit a Sayer first. It's awesome.
That sounds horribly
Turns
boring.
into a Forza
and
game.
Shows you... yeah, exactly. Shows you how boring Axe is because you're all just fishing for a Sayer. So they nerfed neutral light, neutral air, side air, and down air. I haven't noticed a difference playing against it. I think the issue with Axe is not that it's strong. I think it's how people play it. It just alludes itself to playing passive and then getting a little 2-hit combo and resetting to neutral and waiting for someone to whiff an attack again.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the boring aspect of it, and that's what makes it strong because it's just it punishes so well.
What if so hear me out. I should probably just tell you the idea before instead of trying to fish it out of you, but. Okay, you've been playing a Souls game recently, right? Whatever it's called, the new Souls game.
Yeah, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. So if you're fighting a big boss in a game like that, or any game where you got swords and axes and stuff, and you got a big old boss with a big slow axe, and they try to slam it on the ground and hit you, but you roll out of the way, what usually happens? What's the mechanic there?
You get to punish them.
Yeah, it gets stuck in the ground and they have to pull it up.
Reset.
Yeah. Maybe Axe needs something like that. I mean, that would be kind of changing core mechanics of the game. Kind of like we did when we added Greatsword. But
so you're saying it just needs more recovery frames.
Yeah.
You don't have to change anything, just give it more recovery frames.
I guess.
Which I don't think they did on any of that. They changed the threat coverage on neutral light. They decreased maximum travel speed allowed during the attack of neutral air. Decreased acceleration. So they're not changing the recovery on it. And I think that's how you make it feel like a heavy weapon, because every swing matters then. and it allows people to punish someone for playing passively. Because if you can bait out an attack from them, then you can punish them. Anywho, I don't think Axe is that bad. It's just how people play it, and that's why it's so dominant.
Yeah.
Blaster's got a buff.
Heck
sort
yeah.
of.
Sort of.
I'm very excited about that. So the side air got increased force, and it's a really good kill option. It's always been a good kill option, but now it's a really good kill option. The down air, they changed the angle to make it more vertical whenever you hit them. So they'll drop like almost straight down as opposed to off to the side. And I don't know if I consider that a buff or not, because it changes how you have to follow up with it. I think it does make it easier to hit Sair out of, but other than that, I don't know that it really had the desired effect. Hammer they nerfed kind of similar to Axe, but not nearly as much. Katars, we got another Katar buff.
Let's go.
This was Spankcake's patch. They looked at this patch and they said, "This is for you, Spankcakes. This is for you." So they increased the force on Katar recovery. And Katar recovery is like one of the few kill options that's consistent for Katars. So easier to kill with Katars, easier to kill with blasters. Life's good for Spankcakes. Spear, this one's for you, man. This one's for you.
Well, I've
decreased
not been
recovery
feeling it,
time.
It is.
What? Really? They decreased the recovery time on Sidelight.
I think I'm just choking because I really want to be good with Arcadia. Because like 2 weeks ago, for some reason, my axe was weak, my gauntlets were weak, everything was weak except my spear for some reason. I was popping off. I could play any spear legend. Pop it off! And then as soon as Arcadia comes out, I'm like, all right, it's my time to shine with a new legend. I haven't been able to play the last like 4 new legends that come out. It's my time. And I'm just dookie with it.
I think the Greatsword's psyching you out, man.
It's just so big.
I think, yeah, I think you're putting too much thought in the Greatsword. Get back to traditional rocks. Just throw Greatsword away immediately and wait to get another weapon.
That's true. My best legends I can only play one weapon on.
Right. And Arcadia should be no different. So they decreased the recovery time on Sidelight from 3 fixed 10 variable to 1 fixed 10 variable. So that's a 2-frame drop on the Sidelight recovery time, which is massive because Sidelight is like your main approach tool with Spear.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's huge, but it's definitely needed for that weapon. And then Sword, a slight nerf, which was deserved. Sidelight got increased recovery time, and Neutralite got increased time to hit. So more recovery on Sidelight, more startup on Neutralite. Probably a good call. Sword's always been strong, and it's not gonna over nerf it.
Yeah, the Sword will never die. It's even though Sword doesn't cause a bunch of game breaking bugs every patch, it is the Telesto of Destiny. You can't kill it.
Sure. Whatever that means. You mean DJ Telesto?
No idea who that is.
It's DJ Tiesto. That was, man, joke went over your head.
Yeah.
Learn some EDM, man.
Been too busy listening to power metal lately. Listen.
Yeah, of course you have.
Listen. Me and Wesley had a conversation through text the other day. I was just blasting some Powerwolf while I played some Destiny because my friends weren't playing with me. I was all alone. So I was looking at all these power metal bands. You know, on Spotify, they've got the banner up top, and it's usually just like an action pose of everybody. I started taking screenshots of every power metal band I was listening to, and I sent them all to Wesley, and I was like, what is it with power metal bands? And every single member of a power metal band looks like you could trust your life with them. And Wesley's response was, I would trust every one of these men with my drink at a bar. It's just like, they all look like those like stereotypical, like, you know how there's like biker gangs that show up to court for like kid abuse patients? It's all those guys. They all look like you want to be their best friend.
You gotta send me these pictures so I can actually understand.
Oh, absolutely, I will.
So on to legend changes. So I looked at the first two and I just stopped because I'm like, my life is complete now. Isaiah got a buff.
He needs
Isaiah got a buff. He does need it. He didn't get a buff to what I think he needed a buff on, but he got a buff. So side blasters got a buff, which that's where like that drone comes down and then he shoots them.
Yeah.
Increased force from 60 fixed to 65 fixed and 54 variable to 56 variable. So it's a better knockout tool. And the neutral cannon, I think this is the big one, even though it doesn't sound very big. Decreased minimum charge time from 13 to 12. And that makes it so it's an even better anti-air and more in line with his blaster's neutral sig.
I gotcha.
And people get caught by it now. That one frame made all the difference.
So it takes one frame.
I really wish they would have buffed his cannon side sig because that one is dog water.
Yeah, it's dog
absolute water. Dog water. You just can't hit with it. It's so slow. Lynn Fay. We got a Lynn Fay buff. What is this? This is for me. They gave her a damage buff on side cannon and neutral katars.
Doesn't she have like really weak strength? She's like 3 strength.
Because if you take I can't remember what stance it is, but it takes her down to 2 and it's miserable.
Her lore says that she's stronger than like 3 men.
I think she has 4 strength. You have the game open. You tell me.
Oh my goodness. Let me hunt it down here. Where is Lynn Bay? There she is.
Lynn Bay is right next to Isaiah.
She is 3 strength. And defense stance, which brings you up to 5 defense, drops you down to 2 strength.
Yeah, the only stance to run on Lynn Fay is Dex. Confirmed.
I don't have Dex unlocked.
It takes her up to 9 Dex and takes speed down, I think. Yeah, I think it takes speed down. Because it makes her, I think 9 Dex makes down light to neutral light true. It makes something true. Magyar got a buff to both neutral and greatsword and hammer, decreasing the recovery time on both those, which I think is necessary. Magyar sucks.
Yeah.
And Zario, hey, one for you.
Boy, I haven't played him in a hot minute. What do you get?
Neutral bow, decreased recovery time on the grounded animation.
Next.
17 to 13, and down gauntlets, increased force from 55 fixed and 52 variable to 58 fixed, 54 variable.
Ooh, that's the one where you like grab them and like you like Zario like
slam
farts.
Him down, right?
Like he like grabs you with his wings and then he like farts on the ground and you fly up.
Wait, is that one?
That's his down gauntlet.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
he just like it's almost like he's trying to go Super Saiyan. He goes and just launches you.
So that gets increased force, which I thought that one was already pretty strong. It's hard to hit with, but I thought it was strong.
I like my favorite thing about it is people don't expect it is if you slide charge it off stage and catch them there.
Oh yeah.
And then it just launches them straight up. My favorite is whenever they're so low and you hit them with that, and you're below the stage, but it hits so hard and they're so low health it still KOs off the top.
So it's gonna do it even more so now because that force. It's small, but it's something. So other things that came with this patch. This is a cool one for all the free-to-play players if they ever go buy the Legends pack. You get a gold refund.
I got that the other day. I was like, what is this
Wait,
for?
you did?
Yeah.
How much did you get?
Like 20K.
Nice. That's almost a black color.
Actually, I think it might have been more because I bought an absurd amount of the
Luck of the Brawl
colors with it.
So yeah, for all you free-to-play players, you got a little extra gold in your pocket. And how thematically appropriate for Luck of the Brawl to be the gold refund patch?
I guarantee that they were gonna do the gold refund patch in like January, and they're like, "Wait, I have a great idea."
Someone at BMG needs a marketing promotion.
Oh yeah.
What else did we get? We got some lobby tests or some new test features. There's handicaps now. Have you messed around with those at all?
I've not messed around with them, but I saw them in the stream when they were announced. That is really cool.
Yeah, so you can like make one player have like way more health or take less damage than the other players, and you can do like this cool like boss mode where like 3 people just gang up on one person and try to kill them.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be fun. We're going to have to play around with that, especially whenever we start streaming again here soon.
Yeah, we've been saying we're going to start streaming for 4 months now.
Hold on. I got most everything set up. I just have to do most of the setup, and I'll be ready.
There were a couple other things with test features, but there was one test feature, well, 2 test features relating to weapon throws. So one test feature got graduated for weapon throws, and that is that there's a throw clash now. So attacks that strike an opponent won't trade or be interrupted by a recently thrown weapon. So people can't use thrown weapons to interrupt strings anymore, which is pretty significant and really helps with like off-stage type play.
Yeah.
And the other test feature that got introduced, and this is only an experimental, which I think they probably should have just taken this straight to live because it's not very significant. It's significant, but it doesn't change the game in a negative way. Thrown weapons bounce less and disappear faster. So you have to be on your game if you want to throw a weapon as part of a combo.
Okay.
I wish they would have just taken that one straight to live. I mean, there's really no reason not to. On to bigger and better things, Rox. So, did you know that there is a YouTube channel called Gravity Cancel with
Gravity
1.5 Gravity Cancel with 1.5k subscribers.
Well, it ain't us.
1,500 subscribers, and it ain't us.
It ain't us. We've been bamboozled.
A little bit of detective work finds out that
and hold on, we gotta roll this back for a second because the detective work itself was hilarious. So this man hops in here. We're about to do the podcast, and he goes, he says something along the lines of, "Let me tell you about this." Tells me to look up Gravity Cancel on YouTube. And there's a channel there with no videos, no nothing, just a nice little, no. It's, if you look up Gravity Cancel, it's details on how to Gravity Cancel in Brawlhalla. But if it's
Gravity Cancel Podcast,
it's all us, and then, Gravity Cancel Podcast, all us. But, wait, how did you Google Brawlhalla Podcast?
Or, no, hold on. You're screwing this up. I searched Freelo Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You search Freelo Podcast, and then you get, the first hit is a channel with 2 videos on it, and it's apparently a League of Legends podcast.
Nice.
A deadcast, actually, because they haven't uploaded in forever. And then there's this weird one that's Gravity Cancel with, like I said, 1,500 subscribers. And no videos. And I'm like, well, that's weird. How do you get 1,500 subscribers and no videos on a channel that I've never seen before?
And then we clicked about, and the only information there is the location.
And what was the location, Rox?
Canada.
And who is from Canada?
Kosalix.
Fucking Kosalix, man. He created a channel, or renamed his Freelo Podcast channel, Gravity Cancel. Now, why would he do such a thing?
I just want to know why he ignores my DMs. I just want him to be on the Gravity Cancel podcast.
Well, now
well, not his,
you
but
need
ours.
To DM him again. You need to DM him again and find out what's going on.
It's just so funny that if you actually follow our podcast and you've listened to all the episodes, Koslix has no idea that he has a beef with Smake Cakes. Because it's like, as soon as Koslix starts a podcast, could you believe there's another podcast that just started?
So salty.
Called the Freelo Podcast. Oh, it's great. Like, so now, and since there's only a few of you that listen to these things that we make, we can all sit on the sidelines and just slowly watch this unravel and see what happens.
I'm curious. I have a couple conspiracy theories. It's that he just wanted to rebrand, did Gravity Cancel, and was like, oh, wait a second, it already exists. And he was a nice guy and didn't pursue it. 2, maybe he conceded the battle that we're the better podcast, and he's trying to throw us a bone now, and he wanted to change it to Gravity Cancel so that whenever people find his podcast and they search Gravity Cancel, we come up. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. You know, the more the merrier. If there's another podcast for Brawlhalla, great. But keep it alive, man.
Should I
keep it alive?
Should I do the thing?
It's better.
Should I do the thing I did with Sparky, where I make a big, really poorly edited announcement video saying that Koslix is going to be on the podcast? Tweet it at him.
You should.
And see if maybe that's how you get responses.
Make it like a trailer for his podcast, like he's dropping a new podcast.
Because that's the first interaction I really had with Sparky. I was just like,
yeah.
Try
it. Why not?
Hey, I know you don't know us, but here's a trailer. You're gonna be on our podcast.
Go for it. I'd really like Koslix to keep up with the podcast thing. It's better than the clickbaity content he normally does. Anywho, we're running out of time here.
You're doing great trying to convince him to be on our podcast.
He has to go through and find these little nuggets unless someone's, a spy and clipping these and sending them to him.
It's going to be Zesty. Zesty's going to tweet Koslix. Be like, hey, I don't know anything about professional Brawlhalla, but you're that guy that Spake Cakes keeps talking mad shit about every 4th episode. Cool to see you on.
So, before we get into topic of the podcast, I want to have a little rant here. Just a little short one. I'm really frustrated.
Go on.
Really frustrated with... Okay, first of all, most of my exposure to the Brawlhalla community comes from Reddit. That's the only place I even interact with anyone from the Brawlhalla community. Recently, and I'm not going to say there's unfounded claims here, but there's more to the story. Recently, people have been complaining about lag in Brawlhalla and how the netcode sucks and how bad their servers are. Okay? Have you seen this?
No.
All right, well, once a day, a new post will pop up on Reddit, and it's just complaining. And in every single one of those, I go in and I say, Wi-Fi? ? Or something along those lines. And every time...
God, you're such an Ethernet snob.
Yes.
It's founded. It's okay. I am also an Ethernet snob. But the way you go about it, you're not like, oh, maybe you're experiencing these issues because are you on a Wi-Fi connection? You're just like Wi-Fi ? Pleb.
No, that's all they deserve. That's all these Wi-Fi warriors deserve, is to be called out and realize the sins that they are committing and go buy an Ethernet cord and plug it in.
Yeah, just
I will. If there's anyone
Switch.
listening, if anyone is, they have adapters for that. If anyone is listening and is a Wi-Fi warrior, I will gladly send you an Ethernet cable of whatever length you want to get it plugged up to your router. And if you're a Switch player, I will send you an adapter, and we can all be happy and stop complaining about the internet. Now, they do have server issues, I will admit, but if you're playing on Wi-Fi, you have no excuse to complain about their servers. Plug in, get gaming, get good.
Did you prepare that line?
No, I prepared none of that rant.
It sounded like
you
wrote a speech beforehand.
I wrote nothing. That was straight from the heart. All right, Rox. So, really quick topic of the podcast. So we got a trap character. Mm-hmm. One of very few characters that I would consider is different than the rest of the cast, right?
Yep.
But other characters have they have certain signatures that feel different, right? They feel like they're trying to cater to a different type of playstyle. If, in the future, we were to get some different types of legends, some different flavors of legends that filled a different role, what would you like to see more of?
All right, so I came into this no idea what I was going to say here, but I just had the greatest idea. So imagine a legend type that is built for 2v2. So, and you can also use it 1v1. Let's say they have signatures that don't necessarily do damage, all right? They're like grapplers or something. Like, okay, so imagine a Suri's signature where
I'm
she
seeing it.
where she runs at you and then just slices you with the sword. You know what I'm saying? Like the longer you hold the button, the farther she runs. Imagine something like that, but instead of slashing with the sword, she just latches onto you and holds you there for like 3 seconds, 2 or 3 seconds.
3 seconds is way too long, but okay.
2 seconds, whatever. Long enough for your teammate to come in and lay a smackdown. You know what I'm saying? Or in like ones or something, you run at them, you're on the edge of the stage, you grab them, you hold on to them, and then you're slide holding them off the stage. Does that make sense?
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah.
And then whenever you let go of them, you can like jump and then ground pound them unarmed or something. There's also like 2v2 specific legends would be awesome.
Here's the thing: is like, how would it work for 1v1? It feels like almost a necessity to pick for 2v2.
Yeah.
But you would never play it in 1v1. I like the idea. I think there's something there. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm also trying to think.
Okay, well, actually, one of my ideas was like so we have a legend now with Arcadia that has true combos out of a signature, right? Yumiko doesn't have true combos out of a signature, so Arcadia's a little bit different. What if we had a legend that could combo into signatures and it be true? And that was their gimmick. Like, there are legends that have true combos into signatures, like Cassidy's down light into neutral sig. What if they had a legend that could combo into those signatures? Like, normally. Like, every signature has a combo into it.
Okay.
And they couldn't be strong, right? They'd have to be pretty weak. Or like weaker if they're part of a string. So like they have a variable force depending on whether you hit them raw or hit them as part of a string. And then I kind of thought along the same lines, and this would be kind of like a new type of mechanic. If you had like meter, where you could make your signature stronger depending on how many like light attacks you've hit. It's like you build up meter with light attacks, and then you can do a stronger signature. Like your character starts to glow, and your next signature will be stronger.
Ooh, what about, I don't mean to completely derail your idea. That is a great idea. I just don't know where to take it personally.
Yeah.
What if there was a legend that only had, okay, maybe not this part. I was going to say maybe only had one weapon, but they had like an advanced unarmed.
Ooh, that's way different.
Yeah,
I think the next weapon should just be great unarmed, and they just have like better unarmed
boots,
attacks.
bro. Boots. I'm telling you, it's
Eventually,
it's crazy, but look at popular media right now. My Hero Academia main character kicks people because he broke his arms too many times. Fire Force, kid lights his feet on fire, kicks people real hard. People like kicks. Go back a generation. Gaara got kicked right in the mouth by Rock Lee. Rock Lee, he kicked people. People in Naruto, they kick other people in Naruto. People like the kicks. Give us kicks.
People like people who kick people.
Give us kicks.
So thanks for that transition to weapons. New weapons we want again. I would also like to see a rushdown oriented character. So one that like Azuri or Zol just runs at you.
Yeah.
Like every signature has some form of attack that results in them advancing.
What if a legend? But let's make what's a legend weapon combo? Like sword, what?
Sword, a new one?
Yeah.
Sword orb.
Okay, sword orb, perfect. So, what if the sword, normal, you get your 3 sword signatures. Your orb has no signatures, but you have unarmed signatures.
Okay, I can see it. And that could be your grapple character. They just run at you and grab you.
Or the orb doesn't have signatures itself, but you have these really powerful unarmed signatures, but they're only active for like a few frames after you've thrown the orb.
So you have to have the orb to do the signatures.
Yeah, but as soon as you throw the orb for the next, like, however many frames, I don't know what a big or small amount of frames is, Apparently 3 seconds is way too long. You can do an unarmed
60 seconds
KO.
or 60 frames is 1 second. So.
And it can, like, just imagine you throw an orb at somebody. You're both running at each other. You throw the orb, it stuns them, and then you're charging up like an unarmed side signature. That'd be fun.
Okay, I like it.
This is why I ended up not going to college for game design.
Because you're doing something that completely breaks the game.
Yeah. I'd be great as a Destiny game designer. Jesus. I'd break the game every week. No one would even notice.
No one would notice because the game's already broken. And then my final one is a zoner type character. So Arcadia has already like this massive orb she can shoot out. Petra has a zoning signature. Thatch has a massive zoning signature. Just a legend that can just like every attack they have has range, and they kind of retreat back a little bit. So they're playing keep away from you. But when you get in, like they're just weak. They have like 2 strength or something. When you get in, they can't do anything about it.
I feel like we've had a similar conversation before, but like the characters that have like minions or whatever. Like, what if you had
puppet characters,
like signatures where you throw out traps, or like so? Imagine like
Jacko.
Yeah. Like imagine like if Jiro's signature, whenever he does the side signature and throws out his little ghost ninja, as soon as that ghost ninja leaves, he's active again. Like you could send out your little ghost ninja. Like, okay, so picture this, and then I'll shut up. So look at your keyboard. Imagine that's the stage. All right. Mm-hmm. On the far left side is enemy number 2. On the far right side is also enemy number 2. And I am your teammate, and I am out of stocks. You are in the middle. Yeah. You run towards the first guy. You throw out that signature. It starts chasing him. It's just running across the stage. As soon as you send it out, I mean, he'll probably just jump over it. Then you immediately turn and engage the next guy. Like, can you kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it has more active frames and quicker recovery.
I'm really showing how unintelligent I am with fighting games.
So he can recover from the attack, and while the attack's still active, and go do something else. Yeah. So it would just be like a puppet type character.
There we go.
So, well, not really a puppet. You just have minions, kind of like Jacko. Yeah, anywho, that would be cool. That'd be cool as like just a different type of legend, because we don't have anything that fills that type of playstyle. Mm-hmm. Anywho, so we've dragged on a little bit longer than I wanted to. Actually, I want to keep going, but I got other plans.
Yeah, we're about to hit an hour. This was a fun hour. This is a fun one.
Yeah, it was a good one. Always fun to talk about new legends and good balance patch. This was overall like for as lame as like February was, March has made up for it. February sucked for Brawlhalla. There was nothing going on.
I feel like
March made up for it.
The last 3 times we've recorded a podcast, which have been like a month away from each other, every time we're like, man, that was fun. That was a fun one. Maybe we need to just start doing a once a month podcast and focus on other content.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we do. I don't know. I kind of just don't want to say bi-weekly anymore because that sets expectations. I think we want to talk about it when Brawlhalla is fun, you know?
Yeah.
Because that just makes for a better podcast. But we'll see. You know, if some other podcast comes along and starts doing it weekly, you know, we gotta hold our spot.
That's true.
And show them who's the Brawlhalla podcast boss.
We're not only the longest running Brawlhalla podcast.
We are now like the only podcast.
We are also the longest running Brawlhalla podcast titled Gravity Cancel.
That is true. That is true. Anywho, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out all of our other content that comes out sporadically as well. New episode of Showdowns just dropped. That's like the first one in like 2-3 months. We're going to have an Arcadia just little play session that we had. Uploaded this video. I don't know how you're going to do that one, Rox, because it was pretty weird. But, you know, work your editing magic.
For sure.
And be sure to like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. Give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down, just show us you're listening, and join our Discord. It'd be great to have more people in there, some more active conversations. All of Rox's Destiny buddies are taking over, and we need Brawlhalla revenue.
Yeah, we got 100 members, and I would say 70% are just Destiny players. No, I'd say it's probably 50-50.
Yeah.
But before I let you go, you know how my thumbnail's obviously going to have Arcadia in it because, you know, she was our main focus?
Yep.
I'm going to sneak a little Easter egg. Should I do Scarlet with a dunce hat in the background, or Olgrim Macho Man in the background with a dunce hat?
Olgrim, for sure.
All right, bet. All right. Peace!
Peace!
Get it? Because that's what Koslix plays.